I'm 31 now, and I started making art in a serious way when I was probably 27. So it's been about 4 years. What I mean by serious is that I finally took it on as a life path and as a way to actually make some money as well. The amount of transformation that I have experienced and that I have gone through as a result of devoting myself to this path is, to me, just remarkable. When I look back on my younger life, on my 20s especially, I'm so amazed just how much I have deepened into myself and into the courage and the self-acceptance that I lacked during that phase of my life and that I really wanted to develop. And a lot of that has happened ever since I've decided to allow art to be the core occupation of my life, and even more importantly, to let others see that. I had to transform so much fear, so much shame, so many old, outdated beliefs that weren't even my own before I was able to feel safe enough to share my art and even state that I was an artist. That was one of the hardest things for me to do, actually, right away, right off the bat, was to even feel safe or feel like legitimate enough to even say that I was an artist. And that comes with time. It does get easier. The more that you live making art, whether or not anybody sees it, the more you can feel authentically in yourself like you are an artist. And honestly, don't let anybody define what that means for you. That really is up to you. You can just create your art in your room and have nobody see it and still be an artist. Nobody has an external validation rubric about what it means to be an artist. Anyway, now showing things that I make still sometimes feels difficult. Sometimes I don't like to share an art piece right away because I'm not happy with it, or sometimes I feel kind of embarrassed about what I just made. But overall, it feels a lot easier. It feels pretty much natural to share and to call myself an artist, as opposed to a few years ago it feeling completely ridiculous and bizarre and terrifying. So it doesn't mean that I'm fearless now and that everything is always going smoothly and that I always love what I create. By no means is that the case. Artists always struggle with confidence and with being seen at different points in their career. It's not something that goes away. It's just that there's a basic ability to be courageous that all artists and creatives need to have in order to do their work and to show up. And although I would guess that as we get older and just keep making, resilience naturally occurs as a side effect, I do believe that sometimes we are blocked from even getting started when we don't have that base of resiliency. What I mean is, unhealed trauma can block us even from beginning to make art. But depending on how much big or little t trauma we're still dealing with, depending on how much family or societal conditioning we have weighing on us, depending on our unique nature, the process of unfolding into a selfhood that is authentic and safe might take a while. And that's okay. In my late 20s, I was transmuting and transforming a lot of pain from my past, and from my present, frankly. I was shedding societal conditioning and dissolving beliefs around who I thought I needed to be for other people. Allowing myself to do this was radical. Making art wasn't just a therapeutic process or an aid to self-expression. It literally represented my personal healing. By making art, I was in real time changing and growing. I was creating new pathways of belief and behavior by allowing myself to create. I was following my powerful instinct to create and surrendering to the visions I had of making art, working in a studio, being gestural and emotive on the canvas and the loom and with my body. Making art was the path that I needed to take back agency over my life. To say, this is me. This is what I want to do. This is what I am going to keep doing. That was scary. I had to face a lot of doubt from others and a lot of insecurity in myself. It may sound dramatic, but it really was that dramatic. To those of you who have been told being an artist is impossible or dangerous or a waste of time, or who have felt insecure about their creative abilities and taking up space in the world, who feel afraid of sharing your authentic self, or of insisting on living a life that feels easeful and bright and fulfilling, I know you will understand how powerful it is to finally make breakthroughs in this way. I believe art making can be instrumental in our journeys towards healing and self-discovery. Making art is deeply transformative because it transforms the world, and you are the cause of that transformation. Art is empowering, deeply empowering. No matter what it looks like, whether it's bad or lame or ugly, it's still something that came out of your mind, your emotions and body. It's a part of you that you gift to the world. So, thank you if you made it this far into this video. I appreciate you sticking around, looking at my messy studio, looking at the footage of my city. I'm just starting to get used to working a camera, so it's really just, it is what it is. It's early stages. Well, yeah, this video is for basically anyone who's just starting out with an art practice or with anything that they've never really done before, and it's something that they've wanted to do for a long time, and maybe no one in their life or very few people in their life understand it or are really able to support them. This video is for you. This video is for anyone who's had to teach themselves how to do the thing that they want to do, who maybe has to just figure it out on their own. This video is for you, man. You got this. Is there anything else I want to say on this topic? In terms of resiliency, what I want to say is, like, not every creative person needs to have an ongoing practice of self-investigation or therapy or healing or whatever. You don't have to be doing any of that kind of inner work to be an effective and an expressive person. Like, you can live in the world and not be constantly fixing yourself. It's not about that. It's just that this video is particularly for people who feel that it's really hard to even get into a state of being authentic and self-expressive because of the particular things that they've been through, or because of the particular set of circumstances that they grew up in that left them with a feeling of being unsafe or unable to be really authentically themselves in a safe way. Not in a safe way. If you grew up on the West Coast, you know what I mean. Not the grocery store. I'm talking about feeling safe in your body as you show up authentically. If you don't feel like that resonates with you and that you're perfectly happy to be outwardly artistic and do your thing and not be afraid of what other people are thinking and have that not actually severely impact your ability to show up, then this video isn't for you. And I'm so glad that you feel that way. But a lot of us aren't really able to do that. There's a lot of shame around showing up and claiming space, claiming, an identity that is different from the people that are around you. And I want you to know also that this is a safe place for creatives. I want to state that this YouTube channel that I'm creating is another branch of the Hearth, which is to me a place where we can gather as creative people and really be vulnerable if we choose to be, and to support each other and just to show up in solidarity. And I want you to feel safe and to feel like you can share or support others and participate in any way that feels right for you. It's really important to me that we have environments and communities like this as creators of any kind. You don't have to be an artist in a conventional sense to show up here and to have what I'm saying resonate with you. You can do anything in this world, and it's an act of creativity, really. For me, that just so happens to involve making art and making videos like this and sharing what I write and things like that, and allowing that to actually be the core of my whole life's work. And it took me a while to get there. It took me like a few years at least of like self-exploration and getting really intimate with myself. And it also took, while I'm doing all that inner work, it took some, work in the outer world. It took some like stepping out of my comfort zones here and there and really building myself up one step at a time towards becoming who it is that I wanted to be and embodying that vision that I had for myself. And it wasn't immediate, and I'm still in the midst of it, and I think I probably always will be. And I think that's also something worth saying, is if you're just starting out, it's beautiful because it's so exciting, and you shouldn't squelch that vision at all, but be prepared for your vision to unfold over perhaps many years. I would encourage you to really enjoy each moment as it is and each stage that you're at, because they're all so precious and there's so much to be learned in each stage. Because I wanted everything to happen for me right away. I had all these ideas, I had this whole vision of the work that I knew I wanted to do creatively and like supporting others and all these things. And I was like, I need to do it right now. I need it to happen right this freaking secondo. And for like a while, obviously I wasn't ready and things weren't set up yet. Like you have to literally, like, it's the physical world, like things take time. And I needed to like grow at a certain rate in order to be ready for certain parts of that journey. And I've only literally, honestly, in like the last year did I really finally understand that lesson of like, oh, okay, like, first of all, stressing about things not working out or not like happening all at once right away is, first of all, not helpful, and it just takes away from the experience of the journey of life in general, of like me enjoying my daily life. And it's also like it's not realistic. I needed to like go through a process of building a body of art, or body of work. I needed to get settled into my art practice. And you don't even know you're settling into your art practice until you actually are. It's this whole paradox kind of thing of embodiment, which is like, sometimes you think you're there, but you aren't. And you only find out that you're there when you've almost like let it go. You just kind of like let it go. And then you realize that you have just like naturally stepped into that part of yourself, or that part of your dream. You've kind of become it, and you can't force that process. It just happens through time. Like, this is just one of the laws of living as an earthly being. Like, things take time. So I'm going on about that a lot, but it's just really important, because I think that one of the biggest things at the beginning of someone's like creative journey, in whatever format or whatever form that is for you, I think a lot of the time impatience bubbles up and we start to become more self-critical than we need to be, because we're pressuring ourselves to be perfect still, and to like to make everything work right away. And I think part of that is just like a hangover from the kinds of pressures that we're actually trying to let go of when we're stepping into like a new creative path. There's still a lot of like expectations around being perfect and like having everything really shiny and polished and perfected on like the first go. I also think that because the beginning of a journey is really scary and really intimidating and also really vulnerable, like we feel like, oh my god, this could be like really embarrassing, or what if I fail? Like there's all those kinds of fears really, really strong at the beginning. And so I think there's a tendency to seek out perfectionism and to seek out like doing it all at once right away in the best possible way at the beginning, more so because it's the thought of failing is scarier. The thought of not doing something really well when you're feeling really scared is so much more intense because you're still scared about being judged. You're still scared about like, how is this, like, who am I to do this? Who am I to say these things or to show up in this way? Like, people are gonna judge me. People are gonna like reject me. Like, there's all those kinds of things really, really, really heightened and strong at the beginning. And like the more you do it, the more you just move through it, keep practicing, keep putting things out there, keep sharing, and even if it's like little blips here and there at the beginning, just keep doing that, and then over time, it just becomes less scary. Like seriously. I mean, it doesn't not sting, but like it becomes a lot less impactful. And in turn, you just start to become more at ease with yourself and with what you're doing. That's the kind of resilience that I'm talking about earlier in this vid, where it's not about like hardening yourself or tolerating things so that you can like be productive and like be something that you or somebody else has decided to be. Real healthy resiliency is kind of like a settling into yourself and just like knowing that you're here, that you're gonna stay here and you're gonna keep doing it, and trusting that like, you know, over time things do get easier. At least that's my take. So that's kind of it for me today. I just wanted to tack something on the end there. Thanks for watching my video. And if you need any support on your journey, that's what I'm here for. I've got information in the description box. So there's ways to work with me one-on-one. There's also ways to find, you know, some greater support in the community by joining my newsletter or following on Instagram or whatever. That way we can host more gatherings and we can come together in a little circle and support each other like that. I really think that's really important and valuable. And if you want to be a part of that, follow my shit if you want. Anyway, thanks for being here. I really appreciate you. And blessings to you and to your work and everything that you're doing. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.